There we go. Let's put myself on mute so I can hear myself talk. Welcome to day 52, days 25, sober. Sober. Look at that, we don't have double chins anymore. That's what happens when you work out and you actually stop the booze train. When you stop the booze train. If I was dictator, it would be banned like prohibition. Bring back the 1930s. No pot, no gaming. Who cares that I got on my inbox that Grand Theft Auto was actually launching in November? Order it now, it's only $80. But how much time out of your life? And what about all the nonsense you're gonna be exposed to? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about Codex 5.6. Greatest model ever to be released. Controversial statements. Controversial statements. Let's go down here. Let's turn this music down so I can actually think today. It is a beautiful Friday here in New York City. We have some chats going on in the background. I gotta fire these up. We're gonna be working on Botenston.com. I went in, there's a guy named Donald Miller. Highly recommend. Look at this. Look at this. Bridge bench, bridge mind, bridge voice, bridge people, bridge. Lots to talk about. Apparently you have something getting built in New York or in Washington, D.C. that's an arc and people are losing their minds. I learn about stupid stuff like that because it is exactly that, stupid stuff. Let's get some chats fired out real quick. We are bringing up the personal area. Very, so good. So I had an intervention, shall we say, with, let's just go over here. We are in direct comparison and competition when it comes to Google Drive. I want you to look at this screenshot. Clearly, we are not doing screenshots when we are building. We need to look at that screenshot and say, wow, we need to improve the user experience, the user features, the user interface on mobile, tablet, the PWA app, and desktop. We need to make sure that their preview, that all of the features are actually working. I need a deep dive into making sure that we here at iCharles Drive is combating and fighting off the petulant little flies known as Google Drive, and we are better and far superior than Google Drive. Let's fire that one out. Oh. All right, so Fable's gonna be used on two things today. Actually three things. I am using the personal area. The personal area is gonna be, so I'll get into that in a second, but I'm on a roll right now. We are in direct comparison and competition with Google Docs. We have built a decent product. However, all of the members and users, the million of our shareholders, are actually complaining that this is nowhere near the quality of Google Docs. You could obviously see from the screenshot that the formatting is terrible, the text is terrible, the user experience, the user interface, the live editing is not up to the high elite levels, the premier levels that our shareholders desire. And the reason being is that we have not done a deep dive into our own Google Docs on desktop, tablet, mobile, and PWA app. I want you to do that. We are only looking for solutions. Let's send that out. What's up with all the Millers? What's going on? Today we got so much to talk about. This one is calendar. I want you to look at the calendar and do a deep audit on this. The calendar essentially brings in the triathlon workouts, and there's only should be one workout for each day. There's obviously more than that. Number two, it should be bringing in our streaks, which does a good job. And then number three, it should also bring in to-do lists if we have that, and tasks, which we should also be looking forward to when we have that actually scheduled out. The largest item that we need to look at is making sure this user experience, user interface is perfect. It's elite levels, better than Google Calendar. And all of the Google Calendar users are actually being adopted into ours. You can see all of what's necessary on the screenshot. You need to 10x this and test every single feature that is there. I want you to blow through all of my tokens and make me poor. Bro woke up poetic today. Yes, sir. 10%. That's it. I got on the treadmill. We're usually doing this speed at this incline for this amount of time. 10%, 10%, 10%. That's what we're doing. 10%, 10%. How deep should the crow dops? Full audit, baby. Full audit. Full audit. No code yet. Same full audit, but after you approve the roadmap, I immediately dispatch. Yeah. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Yeah, let's go with start fixing. Audit, elevate. Keep everything gated. Elevate and open to members. Yes. Priority. Are these checkboxes? Yeah, we need checkboxes. Come on. What are we doing there? All right, get out of here. The full multi-agent workflow recommended. Let's spin up multiple agents, parallel agents. By the way, there is another guy in the space. Full head of hair. You probably already saw him on a recommended video. I gotta be honest, I would not watch anyone besides me. Is that a little prideful? Okay. All right, I'm sorry, but not really. It was like theatrical. You gotta be theatrical, but you gotta be practical. And by the way, he looked like he was building out exactly what Bridge Boy is building out. It was very strange. It looked an exact clone. And I was like, well, why don't you just not, like, where is your differentiation? I said this yesterday while I was literally on a walk listening to Bridge Mind freak out about codecs. All right, let's send this out. Let's change this to Fable. We got to Fable this up. I only want you, Fable, and not multiple agents, to look at the UI and the UX of this interface. Clearly, the graphics suck beyond belief. You need to do an extreme deep dive on bringing the graphics engine up to elite levels. This is going to be on par, and we are going to be stealing every single person from this app. I'm serious about building every single thing that I actually use. Zwift is one of them, because I got to do indoor rides. Actually, I'm going to do 2 outdoor rides. I'm going to do a 2.5-hour ride into a 30-minute run, also known as a brick workout, and then a 30-minute bike into about, I think, 45-minute run this weekend. 10%. You can't blow it out. I actually started feeling I've had shin splints, or whatever they're called. They suck, by the way. I also had my big toe one time because I was running too much. It hurt every time you walked. Dude, you can get so many bad running injuries. Before I fan out a full multi-agent workflow, audit first, then decide. Yeah, let's do that. Are these checkboxes? We're going for it all. Come on, what are you even talking about? Imports sync their users' actual switchover? No. One day, drag and drop reschedule? Okay, yeah, let's do some of those. You need to look at that .com, and what we're gonna be doing is an exact replica, clone, and stealing of everything that they got to make sure that I am not using them at all for anything. We are gonna make sure that the graphics are beautiful, they're incredible, they are up to 2029 standards using the highest graphics that we're able to do, along with live metrics, along with live recording when it comes to heart rate, power meters, average speed. The kicker, the Yahoo kicker that we have is obviously synced to that. Deep dive into this and bringing it to 100 times better than it is. Use only Fable and not multi-agents. Big. Big. Then we're gonna go into, okay, we'll send this one out. You mint a cookie. Real editor, Mac Studio, I need a logged in session. So log it in, you dumbass. Don't even tell me ever to do anything. Are you really asking me to log in? That is your priority. I am not your assistant. You work for me. Get that correct. Woke up and chose violence today. Holy cow. This needs to be a complete replica and clone of Gmail, and it needs to be bringing over all of those users. Make sure that it is perfect. It is unbelievable user experience, user interface. Everything is secure. It's locked down. It's obviously prioritized to making sure every single feature works. And it is open to all shareholders within the community. They're only allowed 5 to 10 send or receive emails a day because we are prioritizing the largest and most important emails to make sure that it's only used for those items that are safe and secure. It's using our resend API. One thing that I want you to make sure that you never ask me is for the resend API. You already have it. Search for it, find it, use it. And if you come back and ask for the resend API, you're immediately fired and I'm gonna take your house. Gotta have fun with this. Security detected. Oh yeah. I use the S word. We need to make sure that we are safe and secure. We're safe and secure. All right. Okay, so what we're gonna be doing, this is today's big project. I was working with Code X. No, I'm joking. I was working with BridgeMind. No, I'm kidding. I was working with Donald Miller. So he has an amazing way to, we gotta go to Fable for this one. We're going to Fable. Blow through my tokens.
Yeah, they actually had a,
Actually, I should have moved the Fable up. Let's do that. Let's move Fable up. That's this guy. Let's go to medium. Let's go to high. And then, where's the other one? Move this up. Who do you got in the World Cup? Who do you got in the World Cup? Obviously, France. I'm surprised Morocco even made that far. Well, I was at the gym on one of those stupid news things. By the way, who was I watching yesterday? Oh, I was watching Fox News. Holy cow. I haven't watched news in, I can't even remember, years. Say I watched it like once or twice because it's on at the gym. It is amazing. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I actually watched the news. It is nonsense. It is pure propaganda. It's pure PR, clearly bought by the companies they're talking about. It was embarrassing. I was like, wow, get this out of my head immediately. I need to think independently for 13 seconds. All right, so we're gonna be going in. There is someone called Donald Miller. He has a book called Story Brand, and he has a 2.0 book. I want you to do an extreme deep dive into that in Botenston.com. We are going to do a monumental refactoring of Botenston.com. It is going to be focused on people who have an idea on an app, a website, a template. Maybe they're a solopreneur, entrepreneur, maybe they're a small business, maybe they're a restaurateur, real estate agent, they are a dietitian. I could care less what they are. They want to learn and understand and actually build with AI. They're sick and tired of these stupid companies that don't care about their morals, ethics, or values. And what? Really? You're giving me an artifact after that epic rant? Okay, good. By the way, it's been triggering artifacts so much. It's not bad. The artifacts, I like it. I'm not saying I like this, but okay. But the problem is you're spending all of your tokens on giving me, the engine is stronger than it looks. Under the hood, Quell with a real, okay, fantastic. Tables, page layout, typography. Stop loading the editor from a CDN. Huh. All right, that sounds good. That sounds good. What a waste of an artifact. So this is what I went into. What is iCharles? iCharles is the Who. Those are the people, as Donald Miller was slapping me around on the treadmill today. He was like, dude, what's your voice? I'm like, I don't know what my voice is. What is your, what are the other ones? Voice snippets. I was like, I don't have any voice snippets. He goes, okay, well, you suck at life. I was like, okay, thanks, Donald. You really, really appreciate people telling me I suck at life. So essentially, I listened to him, and obviously he's on the podcast. I'm making this all up, but the other guy was asking these questions. Unbelievable podcast. I downloaded like 10 of his videos, and I'm just gonna go through that. I'm gonna go through the Story Brand 2.0, and there was another book that I wanted to read as well, because I've already read about 3 or 4 of his books, but you can't get enough of building a story based around the customer. And I just watched what's his name, after 15 or 16 years old, and it was Jeff Bezos. And he's out there nerding it out. The nerds are in control, by the way. The nerds are totally in control. And this is the video, it's pretty good. Let's go into my history. Not like Google already knows my history. So clearly you know what I'm watching. It's just all bridge mind, bridge voice. Here we go. This guy, I don't know if you've heard of him, but it's from like 16 years ago. So this is what I was listening to today. I just went through video after video, referrals. I could care less about anything that's happening in the world. I really could care less. It is distractions away from building what you want, and that's what Boatenston.com is going to be focused on. It's not going to move up in effort until you stop it. At an issue when you had to approve every risky, when I was listening to Bridge Mind, Bridge Voice, Bridge Spirit, Bridge Face, Bridge Shoes, he was going through that. And the other thing that he blew through his context. Talking about context, boys and girls, guess what's in the news? Our boy, Sammy Boy. He looks like a swimmer. He looks like Phelps in high school. You know, he's got those broad shoulders. He's got a good chin, full head of hair. But guess what he's talking about? He's talking about the headwind for OpenAI. 39 sources. One of them is themselves. And Facebook. That's crazy. So that's huge. You got Sammy Boy, who said allegedly, doesn't want to go public unless it's at least $1 trillion. So that means we got to get on top of our costs, okay? What do? Do we go enterprise models? Do we go government? Which I think you should go government. You know, he's the only one that's in the room. Allegedly, Dario was so weird that he got kicked out of the White House, or I don't know. Donald said, this guy's too weird. So they kicked Dario out. So that's interesting that happened. And what we need to do is understand where our positioning is. It needs to revolve around the customer, most importantly. So if a customer comes in and they say, hey, listen, I'm a solopreneur, entrepreneur, restaurateur, real estate agent, dietitian, I'm someone who owns my own business, I'm a content creator, I'm an influencer, whatever. Doesn't matter. I could care less. I'm completely agnostic to who you are. But what we need is a quality landing page that walks them through exactly Donald Miller's way, which is there's a problem, you have a solution, provide the solution. We are not going crazy, over the top, complicated. We are making this so people can understand, okay, I want to build something, or I have something, or I want to save money on something, whether that's SaaS products, or they're spending money on software, or on anything that they want to go away from all these big dogs, whether it's $10 a month that they're paying for, $20 a month, and they want to build it and make it their own and own it on their own Mac Studio. That is our positioning for Boatenston.com. All right. So that was my last week. Oh, look at this. What's his name? Blippy? Chippy? Nippy? What's his name? Clippy? Handy. Handy. Dude, Handy's so much better now. It literally got my last name.
I feel so special. I feel absolutely special.
All right, if you guys want to pray for something, pray that the apartment that we just put on the market. See, there you go. This is where it burns the tokens on the thinking. By the way, I'll just say this once. If you are using a new model just for prompts, and listen, I was falling prey to it. I was walking around, I was in complete planning mode, and I wrote it down. Maybe I shouldn't show you my business plan, but I wrote it down. Where's my business plan? Here it is. I'll show you this, I don't really care. If the internet actually loads. Okay, this is fine. I'll show you this part. I won't go to the bottom. These are things that in one 5-minute session, my brain just works on. It's like an old steam engine. And you're just going, once you're going and the fuel is going, or the coal is going, and and it's going down the tracks, and it needs more and more and more and more, and you're going from like Pittsburgh to New York City, and you have to go through PA, Pennsylvania, and it's a huge 8-hour trek. That's what I did yesterday. Well, here we go. So this is what I was thinking about. This is because I was listening to Bridgemind. I said, why don't I do my own bench tests? Then I said, that's stupid. Because why am I going to take 5 prompts, put them in, and say, that is the benchmark for that model? Gemini, when it came out, was pretty darn good with UI. It was pretty darn good with design. And then we have coming out next month, a new one. Are we going to plug it in and say, build a SimCity, a SimTower, or Command & Conquer, a Tetris, a Paperboy, and be like, this sucks. This model sucks. So this is the best way that I'm going to be doing it. How do I bring information and people? It's right here. TAYA. They ask, you answer. TAYA. And then I went into planning mode, and it came out. Here's this is obviously not real. It shouldn't even be moving because it's not connected to anything. And it's been going. So Mark, on the upper left, I saw your thing. On the upper left, I did combine the admin area. I did also create a new area in there. But where's the iCharles? Here we go. So this is it. iCharles.com. Who? Boatenston is what? The Boatenston is getting your stuff done. I've already put it down. I know the DM I'm going to be doing. And the future of vibe coding here is going to be vibe coding on behalf of people for free in the beginning, vibe coding their product. The difference, this is the difference. The problem I see, I already know it. Where does it live? Is it on my computer? Is it on, say, Cloudflare? Is it on their computer, my computer, Cloudflare? The second problem is, Charles, I want updating. How do I charge for that? Is it a subscription? Is it a one-off? Are you doing it for free? Do you have something in the footer that says built by Boatenston.com? What about you have now 10 people that are looking to get their stuff rolling? Are you doing this live? Are you pushing this out to them? So those are the different areas that I'm thinking about. But the problem I saw with Bridgemind, Bridge Voice, Bridge Shoes, Bridge Face, Bridge Hair, Bridge Entertainment is that you can't call a product good or bad based on prompts. You have to build with it. And I turned it off because I'm like, you're not building anything with this besides a stupid one-off scary game. I got to make a post about it. Listen, this is like feedback. That's it. If someone was watching me and they're like, oh, Charles, this is your feedback. You suck. You're not actually building anything. I hate your product. You have a big fat Irish face. You got to lose weight. You got to get into shape. Okay, I'll take that as feedback. All right. What is the one sport preferred completed? No. One workout, you dopey face. Come on. Should virtual trainer or live rides should be never exclude live rides live in the rides table? Yeah, Yeah, what are you even talking about here? It's about upgrading the calendar. All right. How full client nav, optimistic writes client navigation. Let's go with that. The null member writes, okay. So do you guys have access to these things? Because I'm about to create a new account. And I'm about to go through it. Yes, backfill, prevent regression. Yes, obviously. All right. Everything has been approved. I want you to build perfectly and do not make mistakes. Test when you're done. Go visual on every single thing that you have built to make sure that it is responsive on every single screen size, especially the PWA app. All right. The real gaps are UI, one brief, skip the audit as an artifact first, tackle the sharing first. I write a tight opus executor briefs for the top wins. I turn the full ranked gap report into a shareable, no. Okay, let's just do that. Yes, I want you to build everything that is necessary to make sure that this is 100 times better and make sure that every single feature works, and features that I don't even think about are actually in working condition on every single screen size, and it's responsive to every single thing in light and dark mode, especially the PWA app. All right, this is the clone. Yeah, let's do all members, 10 receives. Receives unlimited. Outbound 10 members, inbound is unlimited. You'll never want to legitimate mail sent to a member. The reason I don't want to have it unlimited is because I want this only used as areas that they either forward emails to themselves or use it as an area to park very important emails. And one of the most important things, obviously, is based on the resend API to not blow through that and cost a lot of money. On top of that, if something goes beyond the actual rate limit, that it sits somewhere in purgatory until the rate limit is up and then it delivers it. That is a very important feature that we need to build in. Doubt it can actually do that. Huge doubt on that. It's like halftime, 27-7 or whatever it was. Tom Brady is down. Programmatically create a mailbox for every single existing member. Cleaner avoids bad auto deliverable handles. Yes, they create their own. All right. We also, behind this, we have our own stuff going on. Drive. Okay. Is there anything in this chat that is hardest priority that we need to complete? If so, do it perfectly. If not, just say no. All right, so that is the things that I need to do every single day. That's still going on in the background.
Oh, I totally told everyone to make sure that the actual quotas are going to be totally. Okay, here we go. Shut up, Joe. Let's keep on going. The current sitemap is in. Key findings while the story brand research is currentbotenston.com. One giant file. Got an idea? Let's build it together. The good news, your new position is already half present for people that are done. The customer isn't the hero of the... Okay, we need the same thing with iCharles.com. I think I want to refactor that. Demands 3-step process. I want you to continuously do even more research on how Donald Miller takes all the companies from zero to hero and makes the customer the hero and that person who is actually owning the company as the guide, and that all the stories of the customers are being told so that it's not the founder who is actually being the hero. The founder is actually the guide. Very important. Deeper research on this, because we're going to completely refactor Botenston.com to be the most unbelievable premier website for people who want to build apps, ideas, bring their imagination to life. That could even be a header. That being said, OpenAI is a better company than Anthropic. What is your for OpenAI? I am completely agnostic, but until it gives me a reason, which it was close. It was close. Banana Jeans for outro the epic songs in chat. Yeah, that was actually part of it. Performance plus time times and lowers the API. Yes. That was actually on it, part of it last time. All right. Second research workflow is running, okay? That's gonna blow through everything. Just even saying that something is running, just, where's my credit card? Here we go. Just take it. Just take it. Just take my credit card. We have a issue with the amount of compute here at OpenAI, and my name is Sam Altman, and I just need to make sure that everybody understands. All right, this second track is one that will shape Botenston's biggest structural change. The site currently has 0 customer stories. Okay, I don't care about that. So this is the question, though. Botenston.com is going to start making money because those are going to be one-offs. Those aren't subscriptions. And those are people I already know. I already know people that are using Calendly, and it sucks. She doesn't have a website. I'll build it for free. She knows a lot of people. She's very excited. She blah, blah, blah. I know someone else. I'll build their website. She doesn't have to pay monthly retainer, blah, blah, blah. She tells other people, and it's at the bottom of their website, blah, blah, blah. The thing is, do I build a template and they use the template? That's what I'm leaning towards, instead of building it. But the problem is that as it gets better, you're now just building off trash. Well, we just answered our own question. That's like Adobe or Salesforce. That's like Adobe or Salesforce. You're building on top of trash. So as new and better models come out, there we go. Every single one is going to be a one-off. Every single one's going to be a one-off. That's why I didn't like Paperclip. Because you're essentially building on potentially old models continuously and just building out a massive 5,000 line of code, LOC. That's for all the coders out there. That was my Stanford graduate degree. Just kidding, it took me 5 years to graduate from a crappy college, even though I played rugby and was in a fraternity and didn't even know where the library was. Hey!
What's up?
What's going on?
I found you the ring. Do you think you could maybe move to the podcast?
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Wow. All right. Well, I am going to have to move right now. Hopefully we are going to pause. We are going to pause. And hopefully Oh boy. All right, let's go over here. Let's add this in. Let's go to O. Osmo. Let's go to this. All right, back in business. Back in business. By the way, talk about usage limits. That is absolutely insane that I just reached my usage limit. That's crazy. Who cares about my little thing? Let's go like that. Can we just talk about that for a second? I'm not still muted. Hello? I'm not muted. Am I still muted? I'm not muted. Am I still muted? All right. Now, what is Mark talking about? Mark, you've been, I used Fable. There's double. There we go. I used Fable for 2 chats. That's disgusting. That is disgusting. I was running a lot in the background, though. I was running a lot in the background. Oh my gosh, all of these. So we gotta wait, okay, right now. All right, we're up. We gotta get all these background ones done. Yeah, these are Opus. These are Opus. I was only using Fable for the best ones. All right, so that was the Lighthouse CLI. Highly recommend people go sober, by the way. Highly recommend it. I know it's totally off track. Highly recommend it. I forgot how good it feels. I forgot how good it was. I forgot when you wake up and you're really tired and then you go to the gym that... All right. Is this guy playing in the background? All right, there we go. Yeah, Mark, what are you, CNN over here? Spreading false information? What are you, Sean Hannity? All right, let's go over here. All right, let's go with this. Restarts iCharles, perfect. Let's send that out. The background is, let's see if this reached the usage. Okay. A durable proven fix is complete. The only thing outstanding is a scheduled automatic step that I verified wired. No, we are not doing anything scheduled. What we're doing right now is doing a permanent fix and solution right now. Do that now. If there is nothing, then just say no. Otherwise, do it perfectly. All right, let's send that out. We need to continue. That's the Gmail clone. Yeah, let's continue. The reason being is I want to open up one app, go to my triathlon, go to my docs, go to my calendar. All right. So this is where it is right now. Well, news, who cares about the news right now? Let's go back to what we're building out. Botenston.com also needs to, this is what I want. This is what I want. You go over here, there's 4 areas. One is apps. Apps are areas that could be Calendly. I want Calendly. I literally said, what are the top 50 SaaS products? And I went through it and I go, all these could be built. All these could be built. Zoom, you could build your own Zoom for your country, or your company. But here, if you go into Calendar, you'll notice, actually, if you go into month view, you have something called streaks. The streaks is what you do on a daily basis to reach your goals. I did a workout, eating healthy, I need a journal. I'm probably not gonna have a gallon, and I did not do a 24-hour work, and I'm not gonna do church. But everything is gonna be in here. Everything's gonna be in here. If you have a to-do list, obviously these are something that I'm gonna be working on. But I'm gonna be adding, I have so many checklists. I have a checklist when I go bike riding and running on the weekends. I have a checklist when I travel. I have a checklist every single night before I go to bed. I have a checklist if I am going to a race. I have a checklist when I'm going into swimming. There's a checklist for everything. That's what life should be about. This was, by the way, I went into Claude and I said, go into iCharles.com, refactor this into a website. The problem is with this website, are you a news organization? What are you selling? Why would I even be here? Why am I even coming here? This is good. It shows shorts, it shows the news, it shows the articles, it shows videos, it shows the books, it shows the community. But why, like it looks clean and it looks CNN-y, but I'm also not CNN. I'm not CNN. So then that's when I did what am I? What am I building? For who? And when someone goes there, do they understand? Hit a rate limit, but made real progress. All right, continue. Yeah, it already reset. All right, so that is the only one in that. Continue. The Fable, wow. The Fables are the only ones that I really care about, because that is the graphics engine. Okay, so it's using that. It's still going. That's Drive. All right, that's continuing. All right, now let's pull up the other chat. The other chat is the 2 websites. All right, let's continue. What I want you to do now is look at the iCharles.com website. What we need to understand is when I am a user and I land on iCharles.com, what is the differentiation for someone to arrive at that website, understand what's going on, and either join the community, come back for the community, be inspired by the community, be inspired by iCharles. Right now, we have a lot of articles, a lot of news that's going on, but that's clearly not going to make any money. It's not going to inspire people. It's not going to have people come back. So we need to use the Donald Miller story brand method. And he has done about 5 to 7 different steps. One is the problem. One is how does this relate to me? How does this make sure that you understand my problem? How does it show very succinctly and easily as a soundbite that you're going to be curing my problem in a solution that I understand? It's not going to be overly complicated. So first of all, I want you to do 2 things deeply and don't send out sub-agents. I want you as the model itself to actually be doing this. Go to Donald Miller, understand his process, research him deeply. I don't want you to come back until you actually understand him, can give a PhD synopsis and thesis on his work and how he does his process for companies when companies spend $150,000 per minute to work with him. Then go into iCharles.com and then the iCharles.com community, and you tell me how we are going to leverage iCharles.com and the iCharles.com/community. Is it about Charles Botenston? Is it about the community? Is it about getting better? Is it about the book reviews? Is it about the holistic way in which you are conquering life? There needs to be a very succinct brainstorming session, but also a refracting of the website to understand that when people land there, they know exactly what they're getting. So what I'm talking about right now is when you go to a website, let's go to iCharles.com. When you go to this website, what are you getting out of this website? Why would I come back to this website? I got a lot going on. I have shorts, which are these things. I have news, which is this. I have articles, which are book reviews. It's member articles. It's news articles. It is videos. Those are just videos. Book reviews. These are book reviews. Then you have the podcast area. There's a lot of crap going on. There's a lot. And then if you've ever read the book, Something Paradox, oh my gosh. It's right on the tip of my tongue. Decision Paradox or something. Oh my gosh, how do I not remember this? It's like decision fatigue or something. It's not decision fatigue. Choice Paradox book. And essentially, if there's two, here we go, the paradox of choice. There you go. The paradox of choice. You have too many choices, you don't make any. There is infinite amount of studies around this. So how do I take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 options at the top, along with 1, 2, 3, 4 options over here? So that's a lot of options. But then when someone comes here, what are they actually getting? Why would they come back here? Oh, so you're a news organization? Oh, wait, what is this? You're vibe coding? That's weird. Now you're on Instagram. What the heck are you talking about? Oh, now you have member articles about Rio de Janeiro and how they're doing their own homegrown articles, and their president is all about whatever the hell you want to do. You just come to Rio de Janeiro and it's going to happen. Who else do we have here? We got Peter Thiel, and Peter Thiel is going to be here smashing around the company or the country to make sure that all AI products are here. Oh, wow, we got videos. What the hell are you doing about videos? What are you doing about books? So people are lost. It's an infinite scroll, by the way. It's an infinite scroll on articles. So that was it. What is Botenston.com? What is iCharles.com? It was a planning session that I did right here, and I was not happy, honestly, at all. It asked me a bunch of questions, and I was asking it to make decisions for me, so at least I could say yes or no, instead of me making the wrong decisions or me making the decisions and being like, actually, that's a crap decision. And I didn't like it at all. I do like, honestly, the artifacts. The artifacts is an amazing way, under a gallon of water a day, ask for an update. Yeah, I have not done a gallon a day because I do have this. This is a lot. So it's 520 something ounces per day. But this is, by the way, artifacts, excellent. That's actually a good point right there. That's a very good point. That is a very good point. Watch this, watch this. Let's see if it can do that. This is how my brain works. So we've been using artifacts, and I do have a very important question, is that they automatically are produced. And obviously they're only produced if I'm actually in Claude as a desktop user. Maybe you could do it on mobile and tablet and everything else, but I'm also just saying that it's automatically produced if I'm in a brainstorming session. The one question I have is if I'm using OpenRouter, can OpenRouter using Opus be able to produce artifact websites on its own using my API OpenRouter keys? So in context, a stranger will go to my website, Botenston.com. It will ask that stranger a bunch of questions. OpenRouter API will then use Opus level tokens to produce a link that is an artifact. How would we be able to create artifacts on behalf of people? See, there's one right here. There's one right here. It's using artifacts like it's heroin right now. It's crazy. The customer is the hero. Botenston hands them the map. Deep dive into that is... So it uses artifacts correctly. And it can refactor any PDF. I put in a PDF that was an absolute trash PDF, and it came back stunning. Stunning. Anyone that's using Canva, they're done. They're done.
they're done. Just go into design. Gotta say, design. If you put design into Fable, Opus, Mythos, Gemini's cooked. Gemini's cooked. Because the design that came out was stunning. Okay. So the way that Donald Miller thinks, and I'll get back to the chats in a second. The way that Donald Miller thinks is the way that you must think as a human being that is taking on a client. The person who is buying Nike is the hero. You as Nike are the guide. Nike knows this. That's why they feature Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, McIlroy, Federer, Nadal, whatever the heck his name, Djokovic, whatever. Nadal. Obviously, Wimbledon's going on. Did you see that match, by the way? There was a 5.5, up to over 5 hour match between Djokovic and some other guy. The level of skill that these guys are at is frightening. As a 39-year-old, this guy is smashing forehands, backhands, serves like he's 22. It's insane, the levels in which Djokovic is operating. Where is he from again? Is he from Bosnia? Where's Djokovic from? I'm 1 hour in with Soul High, and I use 30% of my sucks to be on Claude. Doesn't stop until you ask the top, which is pretty cool. Okay, calendar looks really good now. By the way, some dude in the comments under your 1 gallon a day asked for an update. Yes, so, oh my gosh. I just get so many people calling. Get out of here. Okay. We need to refactor both websites. And the one thing that I am shocked about, security. Okay, why did you? Short answer, OpenRouter can't produce Claude. Okay, so that's all you have to say. You don't have to come out with a bunch of other nonsense that makes me feel good about my feelings because I don't have any. Why OpenRouter can't? Okay, I could care less because it's not in Claude. Obviously, yes, okay, so it's an OpenRouter. It's just using the tokens. How you build the equivalent on Boatston.com. The good news is that Artifact Experience decomposes into 3 parts. It has the generation, it has the storage, and it has the link. Yeah, but it's still, there's still something around design that makes the design so much better. Current Claude pricing is 5 in, 25 out, obviously, okay. Quality. Since Boatston is your own app, that is roughly 1 file per. That's what we tried to do before. But whatever design is wrapped around, or whatever the wrapper is, whatever the code is that goes around Claude, is insane. All right, so I want this to scrutinize itself. I'm done. What I want you. Whoops, let's get browser out of there. What I want you to do is scrutinize yourself because we're in the money-making machine and we are going to be bringing on clients, either building out as one-off websites, apps, ideas, email handling, email scheduling, booking assistance, whatever the case is. And we need to have a website that when I share it with them, they say, I know exactly what this is about. I feel like I am the hero in this story. I have a problem. You have brought up the problem. I feel seen and heard and felt, and all of the unbelievable buyer experiences they go before they place a credit card down on anything. All right. Do you think I should just one-off this Charles? I'm very close to it because I think I want to move away from the news in general and do 50 stories. So there's something called They Ask You Answer. That's how this one person went from very in debt. I'm listening to the book right now and reading it. Well, the reading is a PDF that I got for free online. So it's not, it's a very liberal concept of talking about it. Not in the political sense, but just, and
Essentially, the guy answered every single, I wish I did this in real estate. He answered every single pool question about fiberglass versus concrete. The good about fiberglass, the bad about fiberglass, the cost about fiberglass, the installation about fiberglass, the different molds around fiberglass, why you should go with concrete over fiberglass. This guy went from in debt within 3 to 5 years. His pool company was making $7 million by being honest. And that's what I want to move this towards. And then in Jeff Bezos' video, he talked about you got to think long term. Long term, it's not about news. Long term is not about news. That might be a portion. That might be a portion where your Charles me curates news, but that's not long term. All right. So he goes over the synopsis or thesis. Okay. SB7 framework. That's what it's called. This SB7 framework. Okay. You know what? That's good. That's good. The SBC or SB7, I almost want that as a stop leading with the commodity. Your instinct for the prompt would say bluntly, stop leading with the commodity. Or the lead generator and the proof of authority, they are the free bag of value on top of everything. The community is the hero product. Sources, do you want to take the next step and actually refactor the live homepage, rewrite? Yes, I do. And I'm fine with doing that. Out of this chat, I want you to do 2 things. Number 1 is come up with a artifact that you build. And again, we are not dialing up sub-agents, but we are using you as a high Fable model, the most elite premier. You are above OpenAI. Sam Altman loves how beautiful and incredible you build things. You are the elite designer, coding, user experience on all screen sizes, responsive on light and dark mode. OpenAI is attending all of your classes on how beautiful you build homepages and how easily you can convert users. What I want you to do is create an artifact first about the SB7 framework so I can use it in other chats. And I want you to be extremely detailed and use it as a generic way, but also have one example in there, potentially as iCharles.com or as Botenston. Then, once you're done with that, again, no subagents, once you're done with that, you need to do a complete refactoring. Before you do the refactoring, you understand the code base, you understand the architect of the code base, you also understand the database as well. This is very important that it's done perfectly and you are not wasting any time or tokens with slop. We'll just stop it there. Nerd voice. How's a Fable? It burns through tokens. But this is the thing. I'll just go on a rant for a second. The people that are putting out, and I don't want to call them out, Bridge Mind, Bridge Voice, Bridge Shoes, Bridge Face. The people that are putting out content to bring on people long-term is good because obviously his monthly is going up, his annual is going up. However, that is a different business model than what I'm thinking about. He obviously has a product and then he does content outside of that. Like yesterday's was literally just doing one-off prompts. If you are thinking long-term and you understand that there's 2 things, there's many things. You have energy consumption, you have chips, you have the models itself, so like the software, but then you also have the way in which people use the models now that the government's involved. And I was listening to Moonshots. If you carry this out 6 months, 12 months, 18, 24 months, 5 years from now, China is going to have to get on board with the United States, or else they're going to be known as the Wild Wild West because their models are doing things that are potentially malicious, obviously. And we're talking about malicious, not governmentally or anything on that layer. And that includes intelligence and,
private organizations and everything else, but I mean on the individual level. And if you give a mythos style open, you can't guardrail against an open model, because you could just unplug it from the internet, train it, then unleash it onto the world, and now you're like, what just happened? And they were talking about on moonshots. It is impossible in the regulatory environment that we're in right now to think short term. Can this build out a first player shooter? Can this build out a lava lamp? Can this build out a galaxy world in which it's 3D model of the entire, oh my gosh, this model is incredible and everything else? That's very red ball. Red ball is, you see a red ball, and real estate agents are known for this. A shiny red ball goes down the street, you follow the red ball, it hits a wall, it stops, and now you look for another shiny red ball, it hits a wall. That's what the news is about. That's known as a news cycle. You're done with this story, now go with this story. Now go with this story. Now go with this story. And now you could do that with anything. That could be with sports or gambling or TV shows. What is your long-term value? What is your long-term value? Who are the heroes in your story? The thing with Bridgemind is he needs to bring in heroes that are literally making money from his product. Because he's got clearly a great product. If he's doing 240,000 a year, clearly he has a good enough product that whatever amount of people are paying $20 to $50 a month. No one's just going to lay down $20 to $50 a month. And that's why I am so focused on now, your customer is the hero, you are the guide. Fable just gave you a critical exploit and how someone can abuse it. I just thought of something. What if I gotta be honest, since I stopped drinking and I started working out, my brain works in positive mode. What if I just build a bunch of artifacts? And that's what Botenston.com is. I give them an artifact. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is it. They fill out a form that creates a prompt. I take the prompt, I then put it into Fable Opus. I create an artifact. I send them the artifact, even though for whatever reason, the share button up here does not work. Well, there you go. Enterprise only. So I can't share this with, artifacts is the best thing. There you go. There you go. How do I make artifacts? Because there's a wrapper around artifacts and design. And I wouldn't even want to compete with that when it comes to Open Router. I would just blow through my tokens and it wouldn't be as good. That's why Lovable is still where it is. That's why Cursor is still where it is. How funny was that Grok came up to Opus levels and then that was just based on a Cursor benchmark, and they're like, oh, by the way, here's my asterisk. I knew the route in which we were taking for this scary game, and that's why I'm as good as the best gamer in the world, because I already knew the route of playing, Yeah, I know. That's why. The difference here is that it's not going to be automated. What if I went to someone and I said, is this the website you're looking at? Is this the website style you're looking at? How does every designer in the world not use this? How does every designer in the world not use this? Charles, I know you have a website, but actually, this is it. This is it. This is it. We're doing this live. Let's go to the storybook framework. This is the order in which we're doing this. You go here and you say, we're going to be copying Donald Miller's framework to building it out. You have to discover a problem. Are you the person that's overweight? You hear this every night on an infomercial. Are you the person that's overweight, unmotivated, and just feel like the world is passing you by? Are you just sitting there and you're just understanding that you could be doing so much better? Well, here at XYZ, we understand you. We get your feelings. We get your experience. So you introduce a problem. You introduce that you empathize with them, which is probably the character. What do they want? Okay, what do they want? I want to be inspired. They have a problem. They meet the guide. We know. Here we go. Empathy. Right here. I understand what you want. I understand how that feels. You're lazy. You feel like your wife doesn't love you. You feel like the gym is too expensive. You feel like your job is just on a treadmill every single day. Well, we have a plan for you. It's going to be easy. All you have to do, this is how things work. This is how life works. This is how Barnum Bailey works. This is how Apple works. Are you someone who doesn't know that you are a professional photographer? You sit there and everyone else has beautiful images. Well, guess what? We have 3 different lenses. And now that our stock is through the roof, we brought in a product guy. Now that Tim Cook has brought us to the moon, he's now hanging out with Peter Thiel. He's now in Sun Valley. All right, Charles, don't go down those routes. Then you lose everybody. No, the share button is only for enterprise. Ooh, design has. Oh, this is interesting. This is interesting. This is interesting. Okay. Wow. So should I put this into design or an artifact? All right, let's do this right now, actually. So essentially, this is onboarding. We are not going to be competing with Claude Design or Claude Artifacts. They are clearly much better and far superior than using OpenRouter. So scrap that idea. What we're actually going to go to is someone that has an idea, they have an app, they have a website, they have a need, they have a desire, they have an inspiration, they have a business idea. Maybe they're already in business. They're a solopreneur, entrepreneur. Maybe they are someone who's an inspiring entrepreneur or solopreneur, but they have no idea where to start. That is where we come in. And essentially, they have an onboarding process when it comes to Botenston.com. In there, they go through a SB7 framework. And the SB7 framework is essentially so now we share it. Now we share it. Whoop, here we go. But this cannot be shared. So artifacts cannot be shared, but design can be. Okay, so we're gonna turn artifacts into PDFs. Artifacts into PDFs, or at least it wraps around that. It wraps around that. So that's the wrapper. And then that produces a prompt. Then that goes into me, which then goes into Claude Design. Even though that was, oh, it is Claude Design. Okay. All right. So the wrapper, the artifact goes into the wrapper, and the wrapper is the SB7 design. It produces a prompt for me, and that goes into Claude Design. Why is this important? Because now they're invested themselves. They get to see their own website. They see, yeah, this is exactly what I was listening to. I was sitting there and I was like, I wish I had something. Yeah, this is it. I need to turn this into a PDF. This could almost be Botenston.com, where
we use the Donald Miller framework. Give him all the credit, give him all the flowers. You go through the you go through that. The next day, we take your prompt, we take your onboarding experience into a prompt that's copied automatically. We already have that. Put it into probably, well, you can't do, actually, between Claude Design and Claude Artifacts cannot be shared publicly. Only Claude Design can be. Do you think once we do an onboarding of clients, run it through the SB7 framework, and then it becomes a prompt, does the prompt go into Claude Design, Claude Artifacts, but we also want to potentially not use Claude.ai, but we want to use right here the VS Code that is SSH'd into my Mac Studio. So there's at least some memory going on within the Mac Studio instead of the browser of Claude.ai. Essentially, the steps are a user lands on the website, Botenstein.com. They're inspired, they have an idea. They go through an onboarding process that's nice, it's easy, it's beautiful, incredible user interface, user experience. It then comes into the back end as a prompt. I then take that prompt, copy that prompt, which is automatically put into a button. I then go into VS Code, which is SSH'd into my Mac Studio. And then a URL is produced as an artifact or as a Claude Design. I then take that URL and I send it to the client. They then can comment on that Claude Design or Claude Artifact, and I'm still in between which one is best. It needs to obviously be shareable. Obviously, Claude Design is shareable, not Claude Artifacts. I don't know which one is better. If it's Claude Design and you could do that within VS Code, then we'll do Claude Design. And then they can comment on their own Claude Design of what they want and come back with feedback, features, and bugs that they would want to improve. All right, so we're gonna copy that. Copy. Wow. The homepage, full storybook flip. Hero community keeps prominent. New grunt test hero. Then the founding 50 community pitch, then the news. Add the grunt test hero at the top. Out of the ones that you've recommended, which ones do you actually say is the one you recommend and why? I understand that you're actually saying the first one, storybook, story brand flip. Why do you recommend that instead of the other two? This is the biggest day when it comes to the differentiation. Because now there's a business model behind it. Now there's a business model behind it. Brainstorming. The thing is with brainstorming, I'll check the thing in a second. What is this? Which direction for the hero? This is the most important one. Customer as a hero, internal problem, promise of transformation. This is the single most important line. Building alone is the hard way. Don't build it alone, ship faster together. I chose a private room of builders. Oh my gosh. There you go. I, Charles, are the builders. Botenstein.com is get it built for you. That's it. That's the difference. It's kind of like, here is the sauce to building is iCharles.com. And then, oh, that's the sauce. I don't want to do it. You do it for me. Oh, that's the sauce on, that's like WordPress.
Or it's like anything else. It's like anything else. WordPress is free, but then you also have someone else that could build WordPress for you. Here is Wix, here is Squarespace, but we also have professional designers that could do it for you. That's Botenston.com. Wow. Wow. All right. Building alone is the hard way. Don't build it alone. What I'm thinking is that iCharles.com is going to be the community of builders, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, the business owners, the people that want to level up, want to be inspired, want to get to the next level in every area of their life. They already have a business, most likely, whether it's a one-off business where they own it by themselves, or there's 5, 10, 15 other people. Because what is a sustainable business? You know, building a software business, you know, I just want to bring up the guys. I might just call it out. I might just call it out, but let's send that out. Let's see what it comes back with. This is what I mean. All right, let's go here. And I watched the guy, I'll bring it up. And the only reason I'm bringing it up, not to, shame the guy or anything else. Watch later, history, here we go. But this guy, I sense, and I don't like the word feel, but I sense this guy is building something that's very close to Bridge Mind. This guy right here. Like, this is his product. And all flowers to the guy. You know, he's got 4,000 subscribers. He got 2,100 views, all flowers to him. But if people are just ripping off and duplicating other people's stuff, and he's also making 30K, you know, what is your differentiation? Is it software? You know, it's the same thing. Is it not? You know? Yeah, it's the same thing. I don't think you should do a one-time payment. I think you should do a subscription model, but you know, who am I to say that? Never streamed to 0 viewers again. So he's essentially doing SaaS products. I can't see this long term. I just can't see it long term. You know? That's why I had to go into planning mode. And then today is one of the most important things, because now I can start building. I got to flop. I got to send out a bunch of Amazon Fire phones. I got to have a Fire dance, FYRE. I got to have a Fire festival to understand what's going on. All right. So our boy, Down Under. All right. Hey, Claude. My G, the following repository is for agents and skills packed. I want you to install these skills globally, and for agents, install the newest one globally. If some skills already exist, update them to test them. They've successfully installed. I might do a skill based on the SB7 framework. That's what I might do. Because the brainstorming is, there needs to be a framework for everything happens in a framework. That's why McDonald's is successful. That's why Dunkin' Donuts is successful. That's why Hilton is successful. That's why all these, whether you actually are doing your own location of Dunkin' Donuts and you're essentially doing how am I blanking on the word? You're doing your own blah, blah, blah of it. There is a framework. When I walk into Starbucks, it's the same framework. And that's why I'm thinking about this really hard, because iCharles is essentially going to be the people who have already built something. That's the consultant area. That's the how do I help you out? Or is that Botenston.com? Now, Botenston.com, given your framing, see, there you go. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Why are we opening Chrome? Chrome is getting opened. Okay. The V3 pivot card in updated journey renders the build itself started when you're ready, work tree first, then the onboarding flow. Is this for Botenston.com? Customer is the hero. Botenston hands them the map. A deep dive into StoryBrand 2.0. You have the one-liner, yes. You have a character, he has the problems. Okay, so this is specific to Botenston.com. This is specific to Botenston.com. The new homepage. Wow, I gotta leave really shortly, and this time I actually do, because I have to go to the east side. And this is gonna take longer. And why is this a thing, need to, yeah, these are two totally different builds. Yeah, we need to scrape, scrap, whatever you want. Well, that's two different things. We got to scrap the open router. We're not using open router except for prompts. Open router is trash when it comes to doing your own wrapper. Maybe in the future it's going to be better, but it's too dumb unless you're like refactoring, or I'm sorry, you should rewriting an article. Okay, so we'll just go through these three. Given the framing already built, wow. It's opening down on my website. Something right now is opening down on my website, or down on my local host. It's one of these. All right, so that was the health. Okay, you need to continue. That was from a while ago. Continue. Nothing further to do. Okay, so that was a moderation. It's gonna save me money if I go this right, because I'm not gonna use open router. And I'm gonna be really excited about it because it's not doing the news. I think I can employ this. So the series of steps, I already thought about it. The series of steps, I'm gonna go to Instagram. I have 10,000 people. I probably have 300 to 400 or 500 people that watch every single story. I'm gonna say, I'm taking on 5 to 10 people who wanna go through this. This is what I built. You could build anything. It's gonna be for free. They're gonna be the test dummies going through everything. I'm gonna build out what they want, what they desire. I'm gonna have something on the footer. But the issue is, where does it live? Do I do continuous? Chrome is being used on the bottom part. I also need to make sure that all the personal items are opened up. Personal items open to members, and you need to go in there and debug everything. And that is calendar. Docs is terrible, so don't even give me anything on that. Goals, streaks, to do, checklist. Health could be better. Wealth I'm not working on right now. Inbox is not open to that. Journal's not open to you guys. Life OS is not open to you guys. Internet died for a good 3 minutes. Internet died for 3 minutes? Is that me? I do have to pop out. I'm thinking of going live on Sunday. I can't go live tomorrow, but
this has to be one of the better, not even boring, not even exciting, I should say, not even exciting. Because I also have to think about how I can stream while bringing in my gym clothes. Because right now I'm working in with two 20-pound bags. I got my gym clothes and I got my streaming stuff. So I'm like, do I just go on my Mac Pro and just do one camera without two different monitors? You know, how, because two things I came to the conclusion before I go. Number one is I have to go live every single day. There was a time when I was going live every single day and it was chaos. It wasn't, nothing was getting built. I was just smashing my head against the wall. However, YouTube was pushing my stuff out because I was going live every single day. Then I added in videos and then I got inconsistent with going live and then now it's trash. Views, analytics, things like that. So I gotta go live every single day and I gotta stop the videos and put the videos only on videos. You know what it is? Videos only on YouTube members and YouTube, or I'm sorry, iCharles Plus vids, and then live streams are just YouTube. Just YouTube. Like, how fun would it be to contact me if I was a business owner and be like, yeah, I want to see you build out my own website. I want you to build out my, you know, I go to these people's links in bio and they're trash. Link in bio is free. So I gotta do that free thing. I gotta do the personal area. Sunday fun day. Yeah, buddy. So essentially, today's conclusion. We haven't done anything with Fable. That's the only thing. I used Fable incorrectly, though you can't really say that verified and cleared. iCharles, both websites are going to be totally refactored. And to be honest, I'm fine with scrapping all 200 articles and then doing 50 articles each around each of the they ask, you answer. They ask, you answer. Charles, I am new. I don't know anything about Claude. I hate AI. I've been told AI is terrible. I heard data machines are taking over the world and they're going to stand up and smash me in the face. What do I do? Okay, you're a mortgage broker. We could build you out a website. You could have a mailing list. You can, boom. All right, so that is that artifact. Generate artifacts. Okay, so they are org gated. Wow. So you can't share design? That's nonsense. You can't share design? Wow. Wow. Printable via Claude. What does that look like? Wow, you gotta ask Claude to get a PDF. Oh, I don't like that at all. Why do they do that? Huh. More destinations. Canva, Lovable. Anyone like any of these? I don't like any of these. I don't like any of these. Obviously Adobe. I don't like any of them. I'm not gonna share it to Canva. I'm not gonna do Lovable. I'm not gonna do Mira. I'm not gonna do Vercel. I'm not gonna do Wix. In other words, why was today important? Today was important because who is gonna be tuning into the live stream? I'm never gonna have 21,000 people watching. I'm never gonna have Bridge Mind, Bridge Voice numbers. However, if I'm consistent and I bring value about a business, ideas, how they can refactor their website, I could potentially see a lot of people saying, I can't tune in live, but I'm gonna watch it afterwards. This guy's bringing up some great ideas. Oh crap, that's actually a really good idea to have a hero section. Oh wow, I am actually a one-time use. How do I turn this into a subscription model? Like that one guy, $200. Yes, that's good because you're spending $200 and you're gonna have it infinitely for free. But how many times have we built or we bought something and then they just stop? Standalone, standalone HTML. Save as PDF. Let's see what it does. Yeah, you can't, that's all. That's why I say Boneston direct integration, but how would you integrate it? How would you integrate it? Let's see if this is, yeah, none of these. Let's see this. Yeah, it's asking to log in. So how do I share this with a client? I love that setup. You go to the website, you maybe see examples. Oh wow, I can get a design, an artifact for free. Heck, I'm gonna use Charles and his tokens and his time, and I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna steal it. Cool. I don't care. But there's gonna be a lot of people that say, okay, so it says download. It's downloading. Okay. Let's see if this does anything. Yeah, this is just local. I would have to, yeah, I'll have to figure this out. Wow, today was big. Today was big. I walked in today and I did not expect to get this out of it. I thought I was gonna be working on iCharles, I was gonna be working on Botenston. I was not expecting that I would actually have the exact business model for helping out. You don't even know how many friends I have that have crap websites. They pay whatever developer, and it's like, maybe we host it. Maybe we host it. And I was thinking as well is people go to it and they go, I like this, but I want this. And then at the top, kind of like when you go to Code Canyon, there's a little top at the top. It says, build this template, buy this template, use this template. So you're not going to the actual .com, but you're going to the iframe of their website with your own little header. All right, we'll go to Mark Miller's, check the feed, and then I do have to pop out because it is 12 o'clock. Oh, here we go. Interesting. Where'd you get this? Okay, so Adobe, Shopify, I'm not gonna build those. I don't know that. Stop if. I don't know who that is. Dictation. Designs. Are these, this isn't even in English, some of these. I'm assuming this is, yeah, this is clearly from, uh-oh, Mark's building panels in the shop. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. But all I have to say is live streaming every single day. I'm gonna now be waking up at 5 o'clock instead of 6 o'clock. I gotta be going to the gym every single day, 10% better in my workouts. I gotta hit the pool next week. I gotta get my stroke on. I gotta get the freestyle, the turning at the pool. Got a long bike, a long run, but today was very inspiring. Today was very inspiring because if you don't have a business plan and you don't know how to make the user feel like they are the hero and that you're the guide and you understand their problems and you understand their empathy and you understand their experience and you have the solution and it's acceptable, they will buy. They will buy. There's a process. And unfortunately, or fortunately, it's emotional. It is emotional.
And then the people that are builders are the ones that are in iCharles.com. The ones that want things built, you go to Boatenston.com. That's essentially if you go here and you go to apps, go here and go into Todd Bio. This is something that's going to be for free. Obviously, it's trash right now, but you need a minimal viable product. And guess what I built on here? You add in a new page. This is something that needs to be on everyone's bio. All right, I do have to go. AI generated. There's so much going on in my head, but I do have to pop out. I will be live, hopefully on Sunday. If not, then definitely every single day next week. I will see you guys in a bit. Get out there, touch grass, drink water, go work out, eat correctly, stop drinking, stop watching crap, stop going on your cell phone. Just be better. I, Charles Life.